Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
This is The Buzzard.
From the Bath Authority Studios.
100.7 WMMS, Cleveland. Call the Alan Cox Show.
Cox. Cox. Is that with an X? Yes.
216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
I just got thrown these this morning. They just announced that Stone Temple Pilots and Live are going on tour. We had Live here last summer for the return of Buzzard Fest, and they were great. But STP and Live are going on the road, and they are doing Blossom on September the 10th. So you could conceivably go see those guys on September the 10th, and then a few nights later go see ELO at the Romo Fijo.
Who's fronting STP now?
A guy named Jeff Goot.
Goot? They got the Goot?
The Goot. A guy named Jeff Goot who's been with them for a while now. You know, you'll recall post Scott Weiland, they had Chester Bennington fronting Stone Temple Pilots for a minute, and that was fun too. But this guy, Jeff Goot, who came off of the X Factor, which is one of those Simon Cowell shows. He's a dude I think he's from outside Detroit, but he's been fronting STP for a while now. And I think Live, they're all back together, right? Wasn't it Ed Kowalczyk and the other guys? I don't know. There was a lot of animosity in Live for a while. So they're co-headlining a run this summer. They've got Soul Asylum as their opener. So I will have those STP and Live tickets for you all week around $450, but they don't go on sale till Friday morning. So, and the bands are not recording. They're celebrating the 30th anniversary of Purple and Throwing Copper, respectively, by the way. Both of those albums are 30 years old.
That's crazy.
Purple came out June 7th, 1994. I listened to that thing non-stop when it came out.
Both of those albums I listened to. They're some of the first CDs that we had, and so we just played them again and again. Oh.
And Throwing Copper came out a couple months prior, April 26th, 1994. So anyway, STP and Live, not on sale till Friday morning, but I will have those tickets for you all week. I'll get you set up for the Bert Kreischer Festival they're doing down at Canton. You want to go see Sonic Temple? I'll have those. 311's coming, Newfound Glory. A lot of killer shows. I'll be able to hook you up all week for those. But ELO is very exciting, too. Hey, Gaylord.
Well, hello, Mr. Cox.
We haven't heard from Gaylord in a minute.
Yes, I've been listening, and I didn't want to become a pest, but, doggone it, I got to come in and say hi to you guys and tell you that I missed you.
How have you been, Gaylord? I know you were dealing with some health issues, yes?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, For almost 70 years old, I'm doing great. As a matter of fact, I'm doing some laundry today. So
yeah.
I'm doing great.
All right, don't mix the colors and the whites, all right? That's Poundcake's motto.
Oh, my wife gets on me if she finds something out of place, so
right.
She's got to keep in check there. But I just wanted to say hi to you all and tell you that I think you guys have a wonderful show.
You know what? I'd argue if I could, Gaylord.
You don't argue because you're doing a wonderful job. And I think your staff is great there.
Yeah, my staff, Bill. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you all for being so entertaining.
Well, it's the least we could do, Gaylord, and we always do the least we can do.
Okay. Well, a big hug to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, Gaylord. There's a Gaylord who's checking in there from out Wellington way. Where's Wellington again, Bill?
Out past Oberlin.
Oh. Yep. Oh, it's west.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Wellington. Wellington's your second home, Poundcake, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Ron in Willoughby. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. What's up?
Well, I got some inside sources on Bill's excellent adventure yesterday.
Inside sources on Bill's excellent adventure. Oh, were you doing ecstasy with him, Ron?
At the Winchester?
What's that?
Do you remember being at the Winchester?
I do, yeah. I was dancing and...
Oh, okay, yeah, because Bill was the life of the party there. He was getting everybody out there dancing, and he hugged me a couple of times, so I just realized from the show open that it was the ecstasy that was really driving all that, which was, it was a ton of fun.
It was a good
But
time.
I think the best part was when Bill walked in, Polk and his stepdads were playing a song, and Bill just goes up on stage, and I think you talked to Jimmy, to Strank, and even Polk, like mid-song.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, do you remember even what you said to them?
I just gave them all little kisses on the cheek.
Oh, you were one of those guys who got up on stage mid-song? Oh, boy.
I was feeling it.
Yeah.
I was feeling it.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I know why you were rolling, but it was a good time. It was good to see you, and it was you really livened up the place.
Well, I'm, they call me Party Bill for a reason.
Was it a good
Yeah.
draw?
And by the
I
way,
mean,
Tommy's much more adorable in person. The camera, she looks great, but wow, she's really, really a doll.
Yeah. Tommy's the hottest.
Yeah.
all right, good. All right, thank you, Ron.
All right.
All
All
right,
right.
there you go.
Love you. And because of the ecstasy, love the show, too.
Thank you.
There's Ron in Willoughby. I didn't know he got into the city. I ran into him when I was doing our Bud Light March Hoops thing out at Garage Bar.
I saw him on Thursday when I was at the porch. He came out to that one. And then Friday, I hit 120.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So
that would
I felt
be
good
if you,
about that.
I was going to say, if you could qualify for that, you'd probably have the high score.
I know. I think that's the high score. But there's a guy, the guy that won at Frank and Tony's place the week before. He hit like 112, but I saw him. I think he did 125 on like a practice round.
Okay.
So yeah, people getting high scores. It was fun though.
Well, we're doing the finals. I did Hot Shots out in Brunswick on Saturday night, and it was a lot of fun.
That's great.
Hanging out with people, and that place is relatively new. I think Hot Shots has only been open for maybe 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, it was a different bar for a while, but I know that plaza well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been going to that plaza since I was a kid because is that movie theater still even open?
I'll tell you
over there?
what, when I pulled up, I saw the movie theater marquee, and I was like, oh, they kept the old movie theater sign up, but all the movies were current movies. I'm like, oh, that's an operational movie theater.
Nice.
Because the marquee looks like it's from 1974, but
Yeah.
they're showing new movies there, so I was like, all right. But no, Saturday was a lot of fun. This Saturday will be the finals, so I know we are contacting all of the people who have qualified because at the end of this, one person goes to Vegas, and then you compete in the mini hoops if you're good at Pop-A-Shot. I hope you had a chance to come out and prove it because there's $10,000 on the line out there in Vegas. So Saturday, I will be your host for the finals, and that's going to be at On Tap in Medina. And you can go to WMMS.com for the details on that. But all of the people who have qualified over the past few weeks, obviously, hopefully all of them will come out. Usually when you have that many people qualify, you can't count on everybody showing up. But I certainly hope that everybody does on Saturday. So that'll be fun. It'll be an afternooner out there in Medina at On Tap Grill and Bar. Oh, you can leave us messages. Trucker John called to qualify, apparently, from an earlier call.
Alan, Trucker John, King of I-71. I didn't cut it off. Your answering machine cut me off. I said I'd give Poundcake $100 towards drinks if he goes to New Orleans, but it all has to be captured on camera. He has to have a GoPro with him everywhere he goes.
Oh, that was it. Okay. Well, there you get your marching orders from Trucker John, Poundcake. We're going to send you to New Orleans, but you're going to have a GoPro on you the whole time. You're going to be like one of those Google cars that's driving around for Google Maps, Yeah,
and people just...
We're going to have the huge boom arm with the camera on the end of it on top of your head.
They immediately moon the camera, or
Yep.
they throw up the middle finger or whatever.
And they got to blur it out when you go to the map. Yeah, we're going to set you up like Rick Moranis in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
You guys are just like, why has he been looking at that shower curtain for like 45 minutes? Oh, he's pooping. It's like, you just see like my knees in a shower curtain for like 45 minutes. Like, can we fast forward through this? Like, wow, it's been like an hour. You still see the same shower curtain.
I misspoke. It's not Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's when Harold Ramis puts the colander stuff on Rick Moranis' head in Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're going to
yeah.
have you set up like,
Nice.
where he's doing tests on his brain. Yeah, we should figure something like that out. I should really try to lay out a calendar. Maybe we'll shoot for this next year where we send Poundcake down there. But he really doesn't have much free time to have fun because we're constantly giving him things to do and film and provide that content. Poundcake can be our little little correspondent from wherever we can't go. We'll send him. Is this music? I thought I had Zydeco music or something. There we go. I wanted some upbeat Zydeco music to go with Poundcake going to New Orleans. But you'd be down with that, yeah? Send you down there and...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's free.
You couldn't... Yeah, I'd pay for it. But you couldn't ever turn off the camera. That would be the only caveat.
If you guys want to see me pooping for an hour to an hour and a half, I'm cool with that.
Why would it be... No, you can't do that. You can't sit... Because you're on the clock, homie.
You can't tell me I can't poop.
I'm picking up the tab. Not for 90 minutes?
You can't tell me how long I have to poop. That is... unfair.
You can get it done in 10 minutes. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
What about
90 minutes on the toilet?
Sloppies?
Huh?
What about if I have private time?
There is going to be no private time.
Okay, well, then y'all about to watch. Okay, you think a gay's going to care that I have a GoPro strapped to my head? They're like, okay.
No, I'm not saying they're going to care.
Like, don't look at the camera. Just pretend like it's not even there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't. It's blinking.
Well, it's something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. Al, did you see that PornHub is no longer available in Texas? Yeah, I did see that. I'm confused because people are hip to VPNs now. So when a state, other than the fact that it's a clear violation of people's liberty, I don't understand why people are freaking out about when they say like, oh, these age verification laws that get passed in some of these states. VPN gets you around that. So I guess either I'm missing something or I don't know why people are. PornHub has blocked themselves from Texas because Texas has one of these age verification laws. I think North Carolina does. I think Arkansas. All the usual suspects, right? That think that pornography is the bane of everyone's existence. And so these websites have to verify that users are 18 years old. And obviously, if you're running a porn site, they're like, well, we don't think this has to do with people's data. And, they come up with all their own excuses for why, it's nonsense. But anybody in Texas can still, not only, forget VPNs, not only are there 4,000 porn sites you could go to, right? If you want to wank, you don't have to rely on PornHub. But PornHub has, I guess, taken the step of saying we don't want anything to do with Texas. Because, of course, the people who pass these laws, they're like, oh, it's to protect minors and blah, blah, blah. And, everyone can agree that children
children. I was like, what? What minds?
They're down in
minors.
I think that would want them to watch something.
Yeah.
Well, again, somebody sent me. Who sent me this? Sorry. Melissa sent me this. She goes, oh my God, did you see the 2025 project? I said, yes, I have seen the 2025 project. And for people who've never read this, they actually should read it. You may have heard of it or whatever. It is the entire plan. It's called Mandate for Leadership. But it is the entire plan being laid out for if Donald Trump becomes the president again. And it really is. Dystopian doesn't begin to describe it. But,
How do they know this?
Who know what?
How do they already know what Donald Trump's going to do when he gets back?
No, these are all the conservative think tanks who have put together this project.
Oh.
And he doesn't care about anything, so he'll go, fine, do whatever you want to do, right? He'll just be the guy in their, selling everything off to make money. But these conservative groups are the ones that are going to be running the show. And so he'll be like, yeah, I don't care what you do. And so these think tanks have, this 2025 project or whatever. And, some of it is getting attention and a lot of it's not. But there's a big thing in the middle about pornography, about how their plan is to absolutely remove pornography from the American experience. And the point is really that everyone can agree that kids shouldn't have access to porn, but the right-wing definition of pornography, as we've all come to learn, is so laughably broad that, like, to them, or the people in these think tanks that have these ideas for what kind of, theocratic Christian nation we should have, to them, pornography is like a kid with gay parents. So, yeah, the write-up in this thing is, it has no claim to First Amendment protection, which is not true. It's the people who created are child predators and misogynistic exploiters of women. Right-wingers, of course, famously concerned about women. And so they're like, pornography should be outlawed. The people who produce it and distribute it should be put in prison. Any public librarians or educators who refer to it should be registered as sex offenders. The companies should be shut down. Blah, blah, blah. So, that would be all under the auspices, theoretically, of a second Trump term. And this thing is so long. I mean, you could be forgiven for not reading the whole thing, but it is pretty interesting because a lot of this is kind of buried in the middle of all kinds of other stuff. But they're essentially saying, hey, yeah, well, if we get back in there, we'll put pornographers in jail and,
Pornographers.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so, yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Lame.
Well, again, I don't know how you
They say this, but porn is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like some stuff, you want to talk about how desolate and no money for stuff now. If that whole industry shuts down, those are taxpayers. Porn stars pay taxes. Porn companies pay taxes. Like you want some stuff shut down? Okay, shut down porn.
I'd ease off the porn companies pay taxes. That's why they're all based. That's why they're all based in other countries.
But not all.
Porn companies are not looking to pay taxes. They're all like based out of Cyprus. These companies that have very little to no. You're
talking about the big studios, though. There are some that are mid-sized
porn sites. But they're not looking to pay taxes.
But okay. Well, forget about like the platform. Websites can be based from anywhere. I'm talking about like the actual studios that creates porn.
Well, they don't have central porn studios anymore for the most part.
The ones that I do, the ones that I watch do, they're like, oh, it filmed in Mesa, Arizona or something like that.
Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa.
Yeah.
Mesa.
No, sure. There are all kinds of people shooting porn everywhere.
So,
but it's not like Vivid back in the day, right. Where it's like a banner studio.
I'm just saying all of it together is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and everyone, like, contributes to it.
Wait, your thought is that outlawing porn would be detrimental economically?
Yes, absolutely.
Huh.
It's an industry, just like how they were saying.
But it's not the auto industry, though. I mean,
you change one thing, like with the medical industry. When you do the Affordable Care Act, whenever you tinker with one little, it could be a small percentage of the medical industry. If you tweak, who gets insurance, who doesn't. Just even though it's small, that is such a big industry, it screws up other things. And so it's the same thing with porn. You could shut down.
So you're trying to say there's going to be a butterfly effect?
Absolutely.
By
a domino
shutting down
effect.
porn. Yeah.
Yes, a domino effect. Absolutely.
A nipple effect, if you will, Bill.
Yeah. Domino.
Yeah, I was reading a thing that said that 60% of young men use online pornography, which means 40% of young men are liars.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone is using it.
Maybe they look at the magazines. Or maybe they're old school and they like the tapes,
VHS tapes?
Their dad passed away and he left them his porn collection and his VHS tape. There might be something.
Yeah, except nobody's got anything to play them on anymore. You can have a giant box full of VHS tapes. Who the hell's got a VCR?
That's what I'm saying. His dad probably left him the VCR too. That's like leaving a TV without the remote. You're like, you got to give me the remote, man. You can't just have me.
So ostensibly, dad left like the whole library and the means on which to play.
It's got timestamps on it, like
Yeah.
right where I left off. You know, but like DVDs, I had DVDs up, and I found them when I was like moving from my apartment. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about these. My old DVD porn collection.
Oh, yeah, we have a giant tub in our basement that's just labeled porn.
When I couldn't.
I don't think we've opened it in a long time. It's all old DVDs and toys and stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. And so I wasn't even like getting turned on, but I was just like, oh, I remember I used to love this. I spent many hours looking at this. Oh, like.
It was nostalgic. Yeah.
I was like,
oh, it's like a little trip down memory lane.
I'm like, here comes my favorite part. Let's watch.
Beating off in a time machine, right? Yeah.
It was a little drip down memory lane. Oh, good for you. I got a break here. I will have those